recording. Hello out there. So first thing we're going to do is get mathbox19 and go over a couple questions on that. So just like I do, if you go to my home page and if you don't have mathbox19, you go down here to where it says math boxes. Okay, you click on that and click on 19 and 20 and it should pop up. There you go, mathbox19. So I said I go over two to maybe 3 questions for each one. So here's a question for this one. And remember, you guys, we're grading these for accuracy. Which one do you have a question on? Number 1. So this is kind of a weird one. This is a geometry question. RST is reflected over the y-axis to form triangle UVW. Point B is a reflection of point S. What are the coordinates of point B? What did they say? Reflected over the y-axis. So in other words, this figure here gets reflected. If this were like a mirror, right here. Hi. Thanks. If this were like a mirror, this point R would come over to here, right? And what are the coordinates of point B? So RST becomes UVW. So point R actually becomes point U over here. And then point B would be point S. Do you see that? So since point S is up, let's see, it's over 4 and up. Is that 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And point B is going to be back 4 and up 5. So what are the coordinates of that point right there? Yep, it's just -4, 5. If you completed the triangle, the rest of it, point T would be over here at -5, 2. Is that right? -5, 2. And if I connected that, I should get a triangle that looks like a mirror image of that one over the y-axis. Okay? Another question. Another question. Any guys have another question on the, ask them now. 1, 3. 3. Where's number 3? Oh, I have to do this. Number 3. So, that's number 6, isn't it? Write an equation that shows the relationship between x and y. Then that shows a relationship between x and y. Then you use your equation with 6 values for x and the corresponding value for y. So they just basically want you to write any old equation, okay? For instance, so this is kind of an open-ended question. So for instance, you might write like y equals 3x plus 1. Okay? And then, so when x, and then just plug in some numbers. When x is 0, what's y? Hello, 3 times 0 plus 1 is 1, right? When x is 1, what's y? 3 times 1 plus 1. Well, 4, right? And so on. That's all they want you to do. When x is 2, 3 times 2 plus 1 makes 7. And you can fill in some more. Okay, so you just make up your own equation. That's what they're asking for that. All right? Yeah, and do a table of values. And I'll do one more for your learning pleasure. Yes, Grant. 6. Is that fraction 1? Don't you guys like fractions? You just grab your fraction calculator and do it that way. That'd be cheating. Okay, so 3 1/3. Who knows how to do this? You tell me, Justin, tell me how to do it.
So first you take 3 1/3 and multiply it. So first you do 3 times 3 and 9 plus 1.
Good. So the first thing you do is change this to an improper fraction. 10/3, right? Okay, does everyone see how we did that? 3 times 3 plus 1 makes 10/3 times, and you leave this one alone, and when you're multiplying fractions, you just multiply straight across, okay? So it's, you multiply the tops, which gives you 10, and you multiply the bottoms, which gives you 18, and then you should try to reduce that. What number goes into both the top and the bottom? Lizzie? Yeah, good. Okay. How did you get 5/9 from that? Oh, you put it in your calculator. But if I divide 10 by 2 and I divide 18 by 2, right? I could reduce that, right? To 10 divided by 2 makes 5, and 18 divided by 2 makes 9. So it reduces to 5/9. Okay? That's how you reduce it. If you left it like this, it wouldn't be totally incorrect, but it's nicer to write it reduced. All right? Okay. So now you are going to turn in your math box. Okay? Turn it in. Let's pause. Just like I'm going to do right now. For those of you who don't know, if you were to get the book from, I'm going to go to the online textbook. And those of you who are new, you can look at my webpage, which is up the Monarch website. Go to book website. Go to SuccessNet, log in. You'll have to register first. Type in your username. Type in your username. And type in your password. I can't tell you my password, because then you'd steal all my money from my bank account. What? Oh, did I mess up? It didn't work. Let me try it from here. Never works from there. Uh-oh. There we go. So if we go to the student edition and we go to chapter 7 and we go to applications of linear systems, cancel. I just want to look at this problem right here. Okay? So this is your pretty basic mixture problem, okay? And it says a metal worker has some ingots of metal alloy that are 20% copper and others that are 60% copper. How many kilograms of each type of ingot should the metal worker combine to create an 80 kilograms of 52% copper? Okay? And so what you do is you set up a variable. The two things first, you go G plus H equals 80. Because altogether you want this 80 grams altogether. Okay? So you have one that has 20% of copper in it, another has 60%, and you want the final product to have 52%. So what you want to know is how much of each one of those do I need to have in order for that final mixture to be 52%. So what you do is you go 0.2 times G, because that's the amount of 2%, and 0.6 times H equals 0.52 times 80. This is what a lot of you guys forgot to do on that quiz. You forgot to multiply this part by what percentage you want. So you multiply point. So these are your two equations. Okay? Then the next thing you do is you have this equation here, and you have to get G by itself. So see what they did? They subtracted H from both sides, and then they used substitution, okay, to plug this in for, whoops, not for G, for G. And they plug it in right there. And when they do that, they end up with this equation. And even though it has decimals, you still work with it. Okay, use your calculator. Multiply this times this, and multiply that out, and you'll end up, and then they combine their H's to give you 0.4 H plus 16, and then they subtracted 16 from both sides right here, and they end up with 0.48 equals 25.6. And then the last thing they do is they divide both sides by 0.4, and they get h is 64. Once you know h is 64, don't forget, you take that, you plug it back into your original equation, and you get g equals 16. Okay? So you will have a mixture problem on your test. So it's probably a good idea to know how to set that thing up. Okay? And usually it'll look just something like that. Okay? All right. Next thing, final thing I'm going to go over before you start your test, and this is kind of a little mini lesson, real short lesson. If you go to chapter 8, we'll give you this handout, but today we are doing proportion scientific.
You know what, I wouldn't do that, Mr. Leonard.
Don't do this?
No, because right now they're still thinking about solving their system.
Okay.
I don't think we should throw anything.
So
Review
we'll just put a couple examples on the board.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So thank you.